Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Kingdom Hearts Final Mix 100% guide. We are here in Atlantica. We're after meeting up with Ariel and taking her safely back to Triton's palace, and she's going to leave Triton's palace now, even though she's told she's not allowed to leave, and I don't know, it's all a bit of a mess. But Triton is suspicious. We're after mentioning the keyhole and he's like, oh, well, there's certainly nothing like that here. So he clearly knows more than he's letting on. And just flicking through the Jiminy's journal. How we're reading it underwater is a bit of a confusion for me, but yeah, we're after getting a gummy block, so hopefully with Tinkerbell and that gummy block in tow, we can pursue on to getting Kairi back. But obviously, to get all of the trophies, we're going to have to go through all of the different worlds. And yeah, just in the case of like Sora just becoming a merman, even though strictly speaking he's not really a merman because he's actually just hobbled together as part dolphin. But this must be like a dream for an islander, just to be like, oh my god, I can just swim under the sea, it's pretty great. But we're gonna just, again, use magic in Atlantica all the time, it's just the best option. But now Ariel's like, hey, I got my own little pad here, let's go check it out. And like, I'm just saying, Sora, you know, Ariel is a princess, you've already met her dad, she already doesn't like you, but I mean, I'm just saying, if things with Kairi don't work out, you could just stay under the sea and protect Ariel. I'm just saying, you could tell her all about the life on land, you know, you'd have all that extra insight. I'm just saying, could be a vibe, you know? And this is a really pretty little piece of music. And I believe it only plays here. I don't think it plays anywhere else. If anyone does know where else it plays, you can leave it in the comments. But it's just really nice. And Ariel's just being real rebellious and just like, listen, we're gonna find that keyhole. He never lets me do anything. My dad's so lame. So like, let's just rebel. But what's really cute is that in all of these different knickknacks, there is another torn page. But if you keep locking on and changing targets, you can actually find other treasure chests around the grotto. But now that we have that other torn page, there's actually one more torn page from Merlin's book to get. But with that music comes a cutscene, so I'll see you at the end. Ominous music.
Ha! Those impudent fools will never find the keyhole. But the girl couldn't refuse, and I've got the heartless on my side. Triton, my old friend, your day is coming.
But as you can see in this area, we're going to want to grab onto this dolphin. It doesn't do much now, but basically now that you've grabbed onto him, it'll bring him to the next area or the next zone in Atlantica. So we needed to get him moved over to get to a hidden area in the calm depths, basically. And with Atlantica, you can even see different coloured seashells, so you're going to have to use that particular magic spell, be it fire, blizzard, or lightning, to open them. So again, the world throughout all of its different little areas is trying to say, you know, use magic. And we have another pink Agaricus there, but I'm not bothered fighting it. But we saw the little dolphin swim through, so if you didn't actually pick up the dolphin and like interact with him in the area outside Ariel's grotto. Grotto? The Pokemon? Sorry. The area outside Ariel's... Oh, Ariel's grotto. He won't swim through into the undersea valley. But now that he has swam through here, we're able to interact with him and he will swim us to the sunken ship. And don't forget to hit all these little clams. They're good for item drops, and like some of them have really rare items, so you're gonna want that. But the Undersea Valley is the best place to grind for frost gems, because that's where the most sea neons spawn. And obviously having the most treasure magnets for Sora is also good, because it kind of keeps him topped up on magic a lot. And when you get to this little area, see where the dolphin is there? If you kind of wait around this area, that's a really handy place to grab him once you've gotten rid of all the enemies. But he's kind of doing a lap, and at this point following him, there's no real point because you'll just be summoning more enemies as you're going along. So just get to this area, defeat all the enemies here, collect the little clam treasure chest, and then swim back, and by that time you should see the dolphin come back to you by this point. But people give out about Atlantica and say, a bit like Deep Jungle, it's really hard to navigate, when realistically, there's actually an awful lot of shortcuts you can make in Atlantica to get around way more quickly. Like by blowing up the sea urchin last episode, we were able to swim straight from the Undersea Valley into that area to, avoid this whole calm depth situation. And now the biggest thing is, the sunken ship, we have to it's so difficult to get back to Triton's palace, blah 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 blah. But this little undersea cave is actually connected to Ariel's grotto, the exact same, zone map. So all you have to do is hit that, blast up, collect the treasure chest, and now you literally never have to deal with the calm depths, fast water ever again. You don't need to look for the dolphin, you can just swim down here and shortcut yourself directly to the sunken ship. Which, spoilers, we're going to have to come back here a bit later on in the story. Now the sunken ship is going to be a little interesting zone later on. But there's actually a hidden clam down here, so you're going to want to swim down, strike it, and collect your mithril. There's also a treasure chest over back there. I kind of missed it there, but there is one. You can collect it now. I do eventually circle back. But now we have the shark. I don't know if he has a name in The Little Mermaid, but when we open that treasure chest, we get to zoom in. We got a crystal trident, and long story short, that is in Ariel's grotto.
Wind.
And we're going to have to swim back there to check it out. But first, we got to beat up a shark. Now with this guy, you can kind of swim out of the way of his charges. And if you keep up your arrows, you should be fine. But keep in mind, we also have Cura now, thanks to Neverland. So we're going to be healing so much that even if we get to low health, one cure is going to top us all the way up to the top. And with knocking out the shark, we get 100 XP, and then if we swim up a bit, he drops a good bunch of items, which is quite useful. But like that, we have the crystal trident, and it's like, oh, we have to check out Ariel's grotto to put the crystal trident in that space. Oh, are we going to have to... Oh, and we actually unlocked 100 treasure chests. So if you're following along, you should have that trophy now, or if not, a little bit later. I don't believe clams count as treasure chests. I'm not sure. Would be interesting to see. But the long and the short of it is we have Ariel's crystal trident now. And we're getting a bunch of thunder gems, which is great. Because the thunder and frost gems tend to be the most frustrating to get if you're not using Bambi and the Wonderland trick. I kind of realised we haven't unlocked Bambi, but like Bambi will be a summon we're going to get later. And sorry for the spoiler, I didn't mean to spoil that. But essentially, if you fight with Bambi out as a summon, it lets rare items drop. And depending on the world, it depends on the type of item. So if you do a bunch of KOing in Wonderland, you can get the chance to get frost gems from Bambi, which circumvents having to come here and fight the little jellyfish to get frost gems, you know? But once again, I'm just speeding up this little area just so we can top up our HP and just swim back to Ariel's grotto and make a little save, because we were after getting a ton of thunder and frost gems and bright gems, so I was like, nope, not losing that progress. Once again, this just fear of crashes kind of making our game a little bit of a mess. But once again, once we get a good group of sea neons, our chances for frost gems increase. But I know when I realise, you know, we're looking at the stats here, we're actually doing quite okay for them. You might be thinking, like, why was I getting so hung up about going back and forth? The gems seem to drop fairly regular. But you know yourselves, in like games when you're trying to collect stuff, it can be so frustrating when, you know, that one thing you're looking to drop just doesn't drop regularly. And we will definitely see that when it comes to like power crystals and stuff. But we get back here and we put in the crystal and then we cause major family drama. We'll chat back when it's safe to do so.
Ariel, you've disobeyed me again. I told you not to leave the palace.
Daddy, no! How could you?
Young man, you're not from another ocean. You're from another world, aren't you?
Huh?
Then you must be the key bearer.
How did you know?
You may fool Ariel, but you can't fool me. You don't know your dorsal fin from your tail. As the key bearer, you must already know one must not meddle in the affairs of other worlds.
Of course I know that, but...
You have violated this principle. The key bearer shatters peace and brings ruin.
Oh, Sora's not like that.
I thank you for saving my daughter, but there is no room in my ocean for you or your key.
And all of that's so fascinating. Like, there's all this mythos of the keyblade and what it brings. And like, is Sora in meddling actually making things more difficult for the worlds?
The poor child suffers such deep sorrow. What a pity. If only there was something we could do. Wait, maybe she can be of some help. Yes, maybe she can be of some help to you.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, she would surely help you. She'd make all your dreams come true. Ursula can help.
What an entrance, though. I mean, we have to hate her, but like, what an entrance.
You're Ursula. Well, I was just wondering if...
It's all right. Helping others is what I live for. Let me guess. You wish to see other worlds. That shouldn't be too hard. After all, your new friends came from another world.
What?
But they had special help. That mysterious key. Now, cheer up, sweetie. You have something special, too. Huh? Now listen carefully.
I will say this. Ursula's manipulation is great, and I think it's one of the most unique ways Kingdom Hearts lore has augmented the Little Mermaid story, because it's no longer the whole contract and everything. It's literally like, oh, well, she's now made these new friends, and since they are from other worlds, it's like she's able to now lure Ariel in with the promise of, you know, getting to a brand new world via her powers, and obviously putting that bit of distrust in Sora and his friends.
I think the keyhole they seek is somewhere in the palace. Now, my dear, if you can take me there without your daddy knowing, I can help you get to these other worlds you long for.
Like, to me, it doesn't make sense that, like, Triton would just leave the Triton completely unguarded. That's just me. But, like, at the very least, if, like, it was like, oh, Ariel, if you can, like, show me a secret way into the palace that only you know or something, could have been better.
The Triton is mine at last, and I couldn't have done it without your help, my dear.
Ursula, no! I didn't want this!
Why not? Aren't you tired of following your dear daddy's orders? Oh, yes. We had a deal, didn't we? Time for a little journey to the dark world of the Heartless.
We cannot find the keyhole. The keyhole is not here.
What? Why, we have company. I'm afraid you're a little late, handsome.
Oh, at least Ursula called us handsome, you know? Everyone else calls us like a little twerp and a brat, you know?
Daddy!
The Trident. We must get it back.
Come on, let's go! Wait. I'm going with you. My father is hurt and it's all my fault. I have to stop Ursula.
It would have been a bit cooler if we had have, like,
That's right. I'm right behind
scene in the
you, Ariel.
cutscene where, like, Ariel might have, like, you know, alley-ooped it away from her dad or something, or, like, Ursula blasting King Triton with the trident. Like, what happened to King Triton? Why is he a mess? Why is he slumped over on his throne? Like, show us the struggle, Kingdom Hearts! He talked smack about the Keyblade, and now he's like, oh, I'm so old and enfeebled now, actually. Please take your magical key as, like, supreme power and go stop my evil subject who's stolen my key, my trident. Now, I've kind of just sped this up a little bit purely because it's like, it's a lot of the same. It's a lot of swimming and blasting things with Blizzard, you know? But this is where it's super handy that we've, like, gotten that shortcut from the sunken ship, because now we don't have to deal with anything. Just swim down and we're at Ursula's lair, basically. Now, you might notice I'm going in and giving everybody thunder protection and yanking all those accessories off Ariel. She doesn't deserve them. She betrayed her dad. And I just went back to regular speed for this fight with the shark. Because if he managed to actually avoid his charge, he actually bumps his head into the cave wall and hurts himself. And unfortunately, Goofy only has 3 MP, so like his Goofy Tornado, like it gets way better when he has kind of a bit more MP, and he can kind of just cast that one after another, and we give him like MP haste, so his attacks will get his MP back a lot better. But for now, you know, we're going to have to just deal with him missing. And one last hit, and we have another 100 points. So the other trick here is that the reason they made such a big deal of Sebastian saying that he's coming with Ariel is because it's to explain why this area was closed off. Because, like, we could come here, but we wouldn't have been able to actually access Ursula's lair without Sebastian being so small as to push the hidden button. And it makes sense because, like, you could argue that, like, her eels are that skinny as well. They could, like, have crawled in there to activate the button. And I feel like this area in particular is, like, a really cool, like, design from the movie. Just, like, all that reds. And, like, you don't really associate red with, like, underwater and stuff. So I just think it's really cool. Collect that Mega Ether because, like Triton said, the only way to defeat Ursula is by striking her cauldron with magic. So we are going to need Mega Ethers and Ethers galore. And what's funny is that striking the cauldron does let you, like, tick Ursula's health down with physical attacks. But realistically, it's like, just blast the cauldron, and when you make it have, like, a reaction 4 or 5 times, you're going to get the boss fight over it, you know? And I'm here like, don't you bend your mana, don't spend your mana. And I was like, well, actually, if I just skedaddle back, I can use 2 blizzards and then hopefully get all my MP back from the orbs. It just was frustrating that Donald spent all his stuff. And then I was like, oh yeah, Ariel, give me all your items. Those are confiscated too. And I'm like, okay, I have a bunch of ethers. That's grand. High potions, grand. Let's just take out some more ethers and mega ethers and try and get this all sorted. Because ultimately an ether is basically 3 potions because you're getting 3 MP back for 3 cures. It just makes, you know, unfortunately potions get a bad rap then, you know. They don't really get as much use after Clayton.
Your time has come.
I love how Ursula's like, Donald, you're making a mockery of like half octopus people. You die first. So just lock on and blast the cauldron with magic. And as you can see, we're literally getting the fireballs bouncing towards Ursula. And then once you hit it enough times, we get a chain reaction, and we can beat up Ursula a little bit. But, like, the main thing is hit the cauldron. Once we get 3 or 4 reactions from the cauldron, we should be all good. Once she gets out of her daze, she just starts going crazy, so just lock onto her and just swim away from where she's going. Fairly handy. If she's high, you're low. If you're low, and you know, if she goes low, you go high. Now the little eels, they do technically give you a good amount of MP restoration if you need to hit them, but the bottom line is that we have enough MP to spam blizzards and fires. Just don't go for thunders. Obviously Thunder's a lot more costly on your owl magic. Like, I've cast, what, like at least a minimum of like 20, I'd say. Easily 20 spells. But now it's just a time of, okay, on the other side of the cauldron. And as you can see, the little fireballs track Ursula. And you can actually knock her out of it. Just keep on going. Just keep on firing. This really could have probably been sped up as well, but if you wouldn't get to see her get bonked by random fireballs, you know? Once again, start hitting. That's what, 2 times? This was 3rd. So yeah, get 4 chain reactions or chemical reactions or magical reactions from the cauldron, and it's fight over. Yeah, the feckin' arrow spells are really... Oh, set Donald to do what you call it, offensive magic regularly, and then he should, if you press triangle, attack the cauldron as well with magic, but we're not going to worry. We won. Goofy learned MP Gift, a great little ability. Basically lets him give 2 MP to give another ally 3 MP. So he basically has infinite ethers once he has 2 MP. Which if he's MP Rage and MP Haste, he should get 2 MP fairly quickly. Just handy to know. And now it's like, Sora, we've now taught you Mermaid Kick, which means you can swim against the fast currents, which will allow you to get to Ursula's final battle. And we're basically going to do that final battle next episode, but we've got a lot done. We're giving Goofy MP Gift immediately. And yeah, other than that, that's going to be our episode, guys. So look, hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment if you liked. And we'll see each other fighting Gigantic Ursula next episode. Look at us go zoomy through the water. It's great. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you at the next episode. Have a good one.